You've reached a point in your sports photography career that you feel your images are good enough to be sold, to be seen by everybody. You want your brand out there. You want people to know who you are. Main tip you're going to pick up from this video is stop over editing your images. You've reached a point in your sports photography career that you feel your images are ready for the world to see, for people to start sending you all their cash to purchase these images, and you can't wait to do that. Let's go through a few steps and you'll see why I'm going to tell you to stop over editing your images. All right, so you want to get your photos out to everybody. You've gone to an event, you came home with 1,000 photos, which is really easy to do when you can rack up 20 or 30 frames per second, right? Okay, so let's jump back into this now. You've got 1,000 images, couple hour event. Now you need to get those images out. So the first thing you have to do, you need to go through and take these 1,000 images and pick the best ones that you really like, that you think are going to sell. And you need to do this quickly. 1,000 images, if it takes you a minute per image, that's 1,000 minutes you're wasting. You need to cut that down to like 3 to 5 seconds. You need some criteria. The face, do I see the face? Can you see it good enough to where somebody might recognize their relative and say, I want this one? Or is there enough action, or is it telling a story? You need to set up some criteria for yourself so you can go through these really quickly and get them narrowed down to the best ones that you like. Now, when you're first getting started, you'll like a lot of your images, except for the ones that are blurry. And even sometimes you're like, is that blurry? No, well, no, I'll keep that one. You have to change that mindset, and don't be afraid to delete your images. Okay, so you take these 1,000 images, you've knocked it down to, let's say 10%. You have 100 images left. So we have 100 images. Let's say you can edit, you're doing okay. You're not the best editor, but you can do 4 an hour. So that's like every 15 minutes, right? So that's 25 hours. 25 hours you are spending editing images. That's like a part-time job. That is way too many hours spent editing images. So let's knock this down a little bit. Let's say you can knock it down to 25 images. Let's say you're still only doing, 4 an hour because you haven't quite got your process down yet. So that's 6.25 hours. Still a lot of time, but that's less than the 25. So now you've gained almost 19 hours. You have an extra 19 hours. And what do you do with this? You take the 19 hours that you were going to spend editing images and you start promoting yourself, start branding yourself, start pushing your images out to all the social media platforms. You got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got Twitter, you've got TikTok, you've got Snapchat. It's almost endless these days. You take this time and you brand yourself. You get your name out there. You also reach out to local media, newspapers, and let them know you're around. But you need to take all this time that you would have spent editing images, and that's why I'm saying this. Stop over editing your images. You don't need to be editing that many images and spending all that time, because the time you spend editing images is time you're wasting in getting yourself marketed and branding, which means you have less income. And if you want to make a living at sports photography, you need income. What's more important, editing images or branding yourself and marketing and getting some income coming in? It's the business side. Without the income, you have no business. So which would you rather do? Let me know in the comments. Spend more time editing or spend more time marketing and promoting yourself so you can get some income and make a living as a sports photographer. And yes, this is extreme. You should be able to edit more than 4 images an hour. But if you're just getting started, sometimes you're still trying to figure out how to tweak things properly. And don't forget, you can always go back, jump into Photoshop if somebody really likes an image, and do some more tweaking there, and then bring it back out and sell it to them. Which brings me back to where I started this whole video. Stop over editing your images. You don't really need to do that. Spend that time marketing and branding yourself and reaching out to let people know you exist. That way you can make some income as well as enjoying sports photography. All right, if you want to learn more about freelance photography, how you can sell your images that way, check out this video here. Or if you want to see my editing process, I slow it down just a little bit, check out this one right here. And as always, everybody, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. And make sure you grab your cameras, stay safe, and get out and shoot.